everyone, this is Carrie, and I'm participating in the virtual Pinterest party started by Hillary from My So-Called Home. Today I will be sharing a Pinterest failure, a Pinterest success, and a sneak peek of some upcoming videos. I hope you will enjoy.
Now this project was supposed to be one of those very simple, easy, and genius projects. I was attempting to make a washi tape and baker's twine tape dispenser. I saw this on one of my favorite channels. It's not a channel, actually it's a blog. It's called I Heart Organizing. And what she did was she took a clear bin similar to this, lined it, just put some paper in it, and then purchased some, she took some very miniature tension rods, just placed the washi tape on the tension rods, stuck the tension rods in, and the genius part to this whole entire project is supposed to be taking the teeth, ripping off, you see this part of a old saran wrap or aluminum foil kit, taking that off and affixing it to your dispenser, so then you can put your tapes on there and pull them out. So here's what I ended up with when I finally finished my project. See, you're supposed to be able to take your washi tape out and let it rest on the serrated edge in a groove and be able to kind of pull it out and just rip a piece off. I also found that it just wasn't tearing easily. It just did not work at all. And then up here, I just want to kind of give you an example of what my dowel looked like, how that kind of worked out after I, strung it along there. I'm not even going to bother to cut it down to size and try to rework it and configure it to fit into here. I'm just going to come up with a different solution for this project altogether. I'm going to return this bin to Target. I'm going to return these tension rods to Target and just come up with something else because it just did not work out right for me. But if any of you guys want to try this, be welcome. The link for the the tutorial is in my description box below, and have a great time. What ended up happening for me is when I tried to affix the the cutting edge to my container, it just did not work. You see how that gap is there? I first used double-sided tape like she suggested because she said she had problems with the hot glue. There was no way the double-sided tape was sticking. It just kept popping right off. So I decided to try the hot glue. Well, again, with the hot glue, it did not sit flush up against the basket, and then after it dried, it kind of just kept popping off. So it just did not work for me. So I'm wondering if maybe if I used a wooden box, I could drill nails in it or holes in it or something like that, and it would stay, a little bit better. Or in her case, she didn't have a metal cutter. Hers was from, I guess, cling wrap or something, and hers was clear plastic, so maybe plastic would adhere with the double-sided tape, but this metal just was not working for me. Another thing that didn't work for me, again, see these tension rods, they're not round, they're kind of flat, and they work fine for putting on your rolls of washi tape. But I didn't have that many washi tape rolls just yet. My collection isn't that big. So I also wanted to use one of the tension rods for my baker's twine. So I can kind of use one side for washi tape, the other side to store my baker's twine because I have a lot of that. But after getting the rods, I noticed, these rods are not going to fit, into the holes of this, so that wouldn't work out for me. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll just get a dowel and then use something like this, spray paint it white, and then stick my tape on it. But that again didn't work because I didn't have any hooks that would go you know, from side to side that would actually fit down. I would have to actually make something for that. So this just really didn't work out for me. I'm sure it may work out for others. It was a very, very great idea, but again, this was a Pinterest fail for me. So what do I say when, you know, something doesn't work out? If at first you don't succeed, then try something else. Okay, and that's exactly what I did. So let's move on to my Pinterest project number 2. The second project on Pinterest I attempted to make was very, very simple. And that project was making a headband holder out of an oatmeal box. So the items that you would need for this project is an empty oatmeal box, some spray paint, some fabric, a small, you know, candlestick. That's optional. That's only if you want to elevate your, you know, your, if you want to elevate your headband stand. And you need some headbands, a glue gun, and some scissors. So your first step is to take your oatmeal box right here and your fabric, and you're going to just kind of measure out your fabric to fit around the circumference of the oatmeal box. So you take the oatmeal box, and, you know, wrap your fabric around it until you find the correct circumference. Then you take your glue gun right here and just kind of glue everything onto the box. You would kind of just, you would take your fabric, go along the perimeter of the oatmeal box and hot glue gun everything down, and you would have a covered box. The next step after you've covered your box, you would take your candlestick and the top of the oatmeal box and spray paint them whatever color you like. I chose to do a gold. After all the pieces are spray painted, you would end up with something like this. So here's the top that has been spray painted and stuck back on. And I actually, just to add a little bit more interest, took another top from an oatmeal box and stuck it on the bottom just to give it a, you know, a little bit more detail. And then you just hot glue to the bottom of the oatmeal box your candlestick. Now what I did was I cut out the center of the plastic top, oatmeal box top that I put added to the bottom, and that was simply so that I could adhere the candlestick directly to the container, because I didn't want it to fall off later or something like that. So I just kind of cut out a center hole in the bottom and stuck that on there. So I thought that would, you know, give the box a little bit more interest. All that's left is to load up your oatmeal box with some headbands, and there you have it. So let's look at the final product. Okay, another thing that I really like about this headband holder is the fact that the lid is removable and you can add things inside of it. So what I planned on doing with this headband stand is also using it as a hair braiding kit. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to work this. Pretend that this is thread in a weave where the hair is sewn in, or either your rubber band if you're trying to take out beads. You would just essentially take your seam ripper, stick it underneath the thread and rip. You see how easily that goes through? This is so fast, it's so sharp, and it just takes the seam right out and you can just pull it.